Hey, what's going on, crew? Welcome back to another video. It's your boy Serrano. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the Samsung Galaxy A14 5G, and we're going to be taking a look at this device a little bit up close, and we're going to be answering one statement which sums up this smartphone, and that statement is the Samsung Galaxy A14 5G is the perfect formula for a budget smartphone. But if you're brand new to the channel, I truly appreciate you for coming through. I encourage you to subscribe and get notified for more videos just like this. But make sure you hit the like button so we can get this video out to more people. But if you're already a part of the crew, I truly appreciate you for coming through. And salute. So in this video, I aim to answer the question, which is, how is the Samsung Galaxy A14 5G the perfect formula for a budget smartphone? And I plan on talking about it throughout this video. So make sure you guys stay locked into the end of the video, because I definitely think this smartphone is going to be worth it when it comes to the overall value. And so for the price of $199, the Samsung Galaxy A14 5G is definitely going to be a really good value when it comes to the money that you're spending, because it's going to offer you a really good price to performance ratio. And that includes a lot of features that come packed under the hood that you can utilize on a daily basis, that I definitely think would be overall a solid experience. And so starting off with the Samsung Galaxy A14 5G, I want to talk about the overall build quality that you're going to be getting when it comes to this smartphone. And so it's going to be a plastic material basically covering the whole entire smartphone. And I actually have my Spigen Armor case that I do use for this device, but I actually used it caseless for the first week and I didn't really notice any scratches on the screen whatsoever. And it did actually handle my day-to-day use. So I was able to avoid any scratches on the screen without a screen protector. And so I did actually end up putting the rugged armor case from Spigen on this device after about 2 weeks of time. And what I did notice is that it was a really nice phone to hold in the hand, because it had flat sides, rounded corners, which felt really comfortable when you were holding it. And so it did offer a grippy material on the back, which gave you some ease of use and a little bit of comfort, as well as some grip. And so it was easy to manage when you were holding it with one hand. And I also was able to take some samples of the camera, so check that out right here, okay? And so the camera that was featured on this device was a 50 megapixel wide angle camera, as well as a 2 megapixel macro, 2 megapixel depth as well, that recorded in 1080 30 frames per second. And so you were able to get 10 times zoom with steady motion when you were walking. And so it was a pretty decent camera when it came to taking video recording. It brought in a pretty decent amount of light. You also do get features like night mode, slow motion mode, as well as panorama mode and macro camera mode too. And so for the price of $199, I thought that it did offer a variety of features and, you know, abilities that you could use with the camera that made the user experience pretty good for the price of $199. And so for the price of $199, I could say that the 13 megapixel camera on the front was pretty accurate when it came to my skin tones. It also did a pretty decent job of keeping the image quality stable. And so I was pretty much, you know, not overwhelmed with the camera, but I was satisfied with some of the shots that I was getting, especially when it came to daytime photography. But this phone does have a dedicated nighttime mode, which will help when you're taking shots in low light situations. However, when you're taking a shot in the dark, it will take about 6 seconds for the image to completely render after you press the shutter button. But one of the things that I really like about Samsung is the fact that they promise you 4 years of updates, meaning that the Samsung Galaxy A14 will get Android 15 and receive security support up to 4 more years of time. And so when it comes to software updates, the Samsung Galaxy A14 5G is running a little bit behind, because instead of receiving the March or the February software security patch, we only received the January software security patch, and right now it's the date of March 6th. But it still impresses me that this budget smartphone, which I think is the perfect formula for a budget smartphone, is the fact that it will get software support up to 4 years and 2 years of major security updates. Now, if I were to be completely honest with you, when it came to the performance of the Samsung Galaxy A14 5G, I was honestly impressed overall with this device when it came to the user experience, as far as the software, when it came to, browsing the web, multimedia, playing games, anything like that, shopping websites. This device did run really smooth. And the Indian version is going to give you the Exynos 1330, but the one that I have, which is the American model, will give you the Dimensity 700 from MediaTek, which is actually a pretty nice processing chip when it comes to the overall power, the 7nm processing speeds. It also comes with 4 GB of RAM and 64 GB of ROM, as well as the RAM Plus, which will give you the ability to add 4 extra gigabytes from the storage, which will make the device run a little bit smoother and give you some better performance overall. And so for the battery life of this device, I was getting about 7 to 8 hours of screen on time on a daily basis. And this device was well optimized when it came to the One UI 5.0 on Android 13. And so honestly, it was a good experience when it came to the RAM Plus, because you could add that extra virtual memory on this device to speed it up and make it a little bit more snappier. And the screen was actually really nice when it came to the 90 hertz panel, 6 inches of display at 80.2% screen to body ratio, 1080 times 2408 pixels per inch. So I definitely thought that the device was going to give you a nice solid viewing experience, because it was a full HD plus display. Now that we got the main things out of the way, this device does offer you NFC, so you can use it for making mobile payments. It also does have Bluetooth 5.2, which gives you a strong connection when listening to music. It does give you fast charging, but only at 15 watts wired, with a 5000 milliamp hour battery that lasts well throughout one day and a little bit more. So I was really impressed when it came to those things. But another thing that I noticed is it has some additional features like Wi-Fi calling, Dolby Atmos for headphones, and wired headsets. And so it did give you a bunch of features that actually helped your experience overall. And so the combination of a clean experience when it came to the software, a nice build quality overall, some pretty decent cameras, a nice battery life when it came to the overall endurance. And so the loudspeaker was okay, because you got a pretty decent sound coming from it, but just keep in mind it was a mono speaker, and you were basically getting some pretty decent quality when you tuned it with Dolby Atmos. So I thought that was pretty cool. But I just want to throw out there that you do get additional features like the SD card slot, where you can expand the storage and move some of the apps over to the SD card to save space, which I did do on this device. And so I'm glad that Samsung brought this feature to the A series, which allows you to add additional storage to your device and move some of the apps to the SD card, as well as the headphone jack, which gives you the ability to use this device with a auxiliary cable. When you're in a car, you could just plug it into the 3.5mm insert, and it does give you some pretty decent sound with the Dolby Atmos when you're listening to music. And so the reason I say that the Samsung Galaxy A14 5G is the perfect formula for a smartphone is because it has everything that you need to have a really good experience. And I could say that honestly, there wasn't anything that annoyed me when it came to using this device on a regular basis, because I was able to move my apps, use the 3.5mm headphone jack, make mobile payments, have a smooth browsing experience overall. And I could also just enjoy the display and everything that this device had to offer when it came to the battery. But let me know what you guys think about this phone in the comment section down below. And if you made it to the end of the video, just type "I'm still here" so I know you're still kicking it with me. And make sure you watch another video on the left or the right hand corner. Follow me on social media and I'll get right back with you. Okay? Later, crew. Peace.